Hi, I'm David. Welcome to my channel, my yard sale. So today I want to update a little bit on my current health status and just general rants and general talk. So I'm still having this very odd snapping in my bones, which again I can't completely explain it. I did watch a video of another girl who was having the same type of symptoms that I'm having. And unfortunately, I fell asleep before I watched the rest of it, and then I went back to find it, and I couldn't find it again. So I know that what I'm feeling is not completely out of the norm, but it's definitely hard to explain. It's hard to understand. So I was having this snapping starting at like my shoulders going all the way down in my fingers, and it's almost like a tension in the joint that the only way that I can relieve it is to get it to snap a little bit. And now the mostly it's resolved out of my shoulder. I can still feel it actually in my spine. If I stretch out really good, I can hear my spine. I can mostly feel my spine snap, um, and it relieves the tension a little bit. So I find myself stretching out and trying to resolve these snaps as much as I possibly can. I do it several times a day. So I still have this weird snapping. It was in my shoulders, and then it was very difficult in my elbows. I'd actually have to snap my elbows before I would do anything with my hands. Or it's possible that I would pick something up, be holding it in my hand, my elbow would snap, and I would drop it. So it's kind of moved from my elbows now down to my wrists and my hands. And again, I'm hoping that this is resolving its way right out of my body. Hopefully, the next step is I won't even have this anymore and I won't feel it. I certainly hope soon. So the snapping is mostly resolved, but the tension, it's still there. So like the snap helps resolve the tension, but I still have tension in my shoulders and my elbows and my hands definitely that I have to like stretch out. And I'll tell you what's weird is I've been getting a lot of snaps and some weird tension in my ankles. And it's not like it's moving to just different parts of my body. It's moving slowly to the parts of my body that started having the neuropathy the most. Like my neuropathy started in my stomach, and then it went to my probably my legs. I didn't really notice it in my legs, but I definitely noticed it in my hands. But this neuropathy started in my stomach. I started getting the uh, the numbness kind of in my stomach area, and then it went farther away from my central core system, and I feel like this snapping and this tension in my body is moving in the same direction. So I'm hoping that this is this whole neuropathy thing kind of resolving in my body. I hope it's next steps, and I hope it's quick in the next couple of months because this is extremely difficult. It's weird because even walking is difficult. Like you wouldn't think about it. If you can walk, you can walk. But when you're walking, and you wouldn't notice this unless you kind of were forced to notice it, but when you're walking, you have all this muscle around your whole leg that helps your body move forward or backwards or side to side in any direction. And if any one of those directions don't fire correctly, it makes it so you end up, I don't know, you end up on the ground, I guess, because you can slip and fall really easy, and it just makes walking very difficult. Anyways, I'll be happy when this whole thing is resolved, and I feel like it is resolving. It's just taking its sweet time. Of course, it'll probably take months because months, sometimes even years to regrow all these nerves that I'm trying to regrow. So I end up stretching out several times a day, especially in my legs, because I can feel the growth in my legs. I can see I'm starting to finally get actual muscle in my legs again, which I'm not working out as much, but just trying to get the muscle to get any kind of tone. I can feel it and see it in my legs, so I'm happy about that. But what's kind of disappointing is even though I can see the muscle growing, I still can't seem to get my weight above 120 pounds, which I'm 6 foot, 120 pounds. I look like a ghost. But for some reason, my body just doesn't want to add the weight. Even though I eat some carbs, I eat some sugar once in a while. I mean, for the most part, I'm eating the same food that I've been eating for months, even years. I eat meat, vegetables, and beans, and that's pretty much it. Sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, but usually always just at least once a day, and I eat a pretty good amount once a day. But geez, I still cannot seem to get my body to add any weight on. I feel like I need the weight for the strength, and I need the weight to build more muscle. So it's kind of frustrating. So I'm definitely eating more. Sometimes I eat 2 times a day. I definitely always eat once a day. Sometimes I eat twice a day. Occasionally I'll eat 3 times a day. Lately I'm on this strange cycle where I end up going to bed really, really late, going to sleep. I should say really, really late in the night, and then I wake up super early in the morning and I'm starving, like 5 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I'll get out of bed and go eat. And I've never done that before. I've never woken up to go eat. Now I do that. And I'm hoping that that's some kind of signal that my body needs the energy. I don't even know. I can't even know how to explain that anymore. But I'm definitely still eating the same beans, vegetables, and and meat. I'm thinking about adding some rice into it, maybe just for the carbs, maybe even some noodles. I'm not sure. I feel like I need the carbs to be able to maybe gain some weight. So where I live, it's usually either hot as fuck or it gets so cold it's unbearably cold. Now for the last couple of weeks, it's actually been halfway decent. I've been enjoying the weather. It's 50, 55 degrees at night and then 60 to 80 during the day. Occasionally it gets hot, like 90 degrees, but for the most part, it's very moderate and kind of nice. So I'm enjoying the weather lately. I haven't needed the heat this year during the summer, so that's good because that has happened. I've actually turned the heat on where I live all the way up to the beginning of July, and then um, the 1st of July through like the 15th of July, it's usually very hot here. And occasionally you'll get a warm day, but for the most part, it's pretty cool. Like, I don't hate the weather right now, it's kind of nice. So lately, I have Facebook. I have Facebook friends. I have Instagram. I have social media. What the heck is going on with Facebook? Like lately, all of a sudden, Facebook like just pumps my feed full of ads so much that I can't even see the stuff that my friends are posting because they have so much garbage they're posting into my feed. I'm almost to the point where I want to just turn it off and stop using it. And then even worse than that is I have these friends that they want to repost everything, and of course it's either religion or it's politics or stuff that aren't primary concerns for me. Like if it was about health stuff, I'd be interested in reading it. But for the most part, they're reposting all this garbage, and it's not usually one post a day or one post a week. It's 10 posts a day of things that they can just click a button and just blast out to all their friends. It's making it so Facebook is almost just, it's not fun anymore. So I'm thinking about just shutting Facebook off and walking away from it. I think I'm going to probably unfriend or unconnect to the people that have ruined it, so that I don't know. I don't think that's going to do anything, but I'm just thinking about disconnecting from Facebook, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. So I have an iPhone. I have an iPhone 11, and that's getting so annoying lately. I try to hold it in my hand, and there's this part along the very bottom left corner that my hand, I can't seem to not touch that. And when I touch that corner, and then I click on an icon to go to an app, my phone instantly thinks that I want to delete that icon. So I've actually had to reset up some apps, and I have to like constantly double check and make sure I'm not getting ready to delete my app, because it just happens constantly. It's so annoying. And then every app that I have, including the weather, like down in that little left hand bottom corner, they put an ad right there so that I can't not touch it. I can not touch it, but it's very difficult. I have neuropathy in my hands, and I'm trying to hold my phone in my hand, and the little part right here in my finger ends up touching that little corner, and it pops up the ad. It's like I'm 99% sure that Apple and the apps know that that happens. Otherwise, they would move that fucking ad somewhere else so that it doesn't constantly keep popping up. But it's so annoying. It's these little things that annoy me to no end. But now I'm to the point where I would like to have a phone that I can hold the phone in my hand, where it's not so elegant and beautiful that I can't even fucking touch the thing. I can't even hold it in my hand because it slips out of my hand. There's no edge on it. I'm trying to see if there's a phone that makes sense, and I don't think there is. Because the one thing that I loved about the iPhone is it had a Linux operating system that was something you didn't have to constantly maintain. It's a pretty rock solid operating system. But the actual user interface of this thing, it's garbage. I hate it. It's a pain in the ass. Yeah, I think it's pretty unusual that I wake up first thing in the morning now to eat. I'm so hungry. And even if I eat late at night, I'm still super hungry in the morning. And I sleep so hard at night. Like when I finally do fall asleep at night, I am out cold, cold. Like I really sleep hard lately. But this food thing, I've never been one to get out of bed to eat. And now I wake up first thing in the morning to eat, which is very unusual for me. So this whole thing with politics and just in general the politics thing, like I'm trying to understand what's going on. And I definitely don't completely understand it. I'm not that smart. I've never been politically driven in the past. And in the future, I want to care less. I don't care. What I am finding is that the policy, the just the general talk, it's driven from the top down, obviously. There's somebody, I think, some party, some group above the politicians that we see driving the policy down to the bottom, to me and people like me. And it seems like what they're trying to do is they're trying to divide my level, our level, so that we're confused and we don't see what's going on at the top. Because what's going on at the top, there's no benefit to us. I mean, they're using our money to pay for things that are literally killing us. The food, just the financial policy, what they're starting at the top and driving down to the bottom. It's making the bottom's lives impossible. I mean, I don't totally get it. I'm open to any comments on this. I'd like to hear what people are thinking because I would love to have like some kind of thought on what the right thing to do is or how to move forward with all this because I feel like right now we're all stuck in what they want us to be stuck in because the more that we argue with each other, the less we realize what they're doing at the top. And I feel like that's the ploy at this point. I've never really followed politics in the past, and it's unusual that the people that we feel like we should get behind, we aren't able to, and if we are able to, they change the policy to make it so we can't get behind them, and then they pick out whoever they want to pick out, and then we don't have a choice. We get we get the worst of the worst or the worst, and either one they're okay with, and I just don't understand how we get ourselves to this point. And then I have friends again on Facebook that want to argue the point that one person is better than another when we all know that they're both horrible. And there's no purpose in arguing. It doesn't do anybody any benefit. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much about politics. I hope this has been an interesting post. If it has been, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up. And if you like this kind of post or you want to hear more about what's going on in my life, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel because I'll be adding more, hopefully with more positive news in the near future. I think this will be the last post that I'll talk about politics at all. It's just been so frustrating lately. Anyways, have a great rest of the day. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.